Getting into the match here, it's going to be on one of my personal favorite maps. Don't ask questions. Do not ask questions in the chat. I will hurt you. It's Night Market. I'm not going to hurt you. That's why.
What if I ask you a question right now? Why is it your favorite map?
Because I usually win on it.
Fair.
No, I feel like
fair.
obviously the speed booster splitting the center alongside the interesting play you can get by splitting the map. So I like it because it kind of provides a little bit of almost laning. This is the closest you'll ever get to laning in this game, I think, other than that that one beta map that was dropped. God rest its soul.
Wait. Did they both change their names?
Wait, did I miss
Is
something?
one esports spelt improperly and then the other one esports? Oh, why did they do this to us, Squidd? They did this to us.
But this is
Winterfall is LeoLeon E-Sports, and I am cringing.
Why? How did this happen?
You can change your name while you're playing a tournament.
No.
We have no rules against it. Maybe we need to make one after this.
No, yeah, you can't do that. What the heck? Oh,
They can't do that. It's legal. It's tournament legal.
Legal my ass. Anyway,
well, technically, LeoLeon Esports is the one in red, and LeoLeon E-Sports is the one in blue. So we do need to have that switched around so we have the right Esports and E-Sports against each other. Let me update the title too, Squidd, while you carry us through the confusion.
Well, all I'm going to say is I'm going to continue referring to Winterfall as Winterfall. You can burn me at the stake if you want, but I'm not having it. If there's one thing that I won't do, it's put up with, you know, players' BS, and this is one of those moments. But we get underway, and I'm honestly looking for a little bit of a how do I say this delicately? Better performance from Winterfall. I feel like there's a lot of potential for them, but they couldn't quite bring it out the last time we saw them on stream. They will pick up a KO here. It's the X shown off the side. Daftgrass on Rasmus this time around. Double BO3 on Juliet, as we saw before. And Luke on Vice, which is not necessarily a bad pick, but they were unable to deny the goal barrier. Only a moment to go. Scyther, meanwhile, is unable to defend the bottom side there. So we've got an open net on either end.
Well, what's guaranteed here, Squidd, is that one of the LeoLeon500 Esports teams is going to move forward. So
I refuse.
That is the big brain play, and this is also a big brain play. But who else? LeoLeon500 getting that first goal.
The man himself. And we're getting a look at the opening awakenings here as well. We do have extra special. Scyther.
Extra special.
I don't get paid for this. I don't get paid for this. I like to remind you of that. Oh my god. Double best of three just got absolutely annihilated. And Supernova's on cooldown too, so Luke can't defend the top side. That's both of them down. God.
You know what? It's a sad day for WBO3, Daftgrass, and Luke, because they're trying their best to play against X, but X has a whole social media company now. He's an enterprise in X, and it's difficult to deal with that.
Oh man, yeah. That's a conversation I think for a different time. We'll definitely have to touch on that. I mean, that's just absolute. I mean, good for X though, you know.
Yeah.
Man has to make a living, and he's really
expanding
got a
his horizons.
Yeah, he's really got a platform. He's a great personality for a CEO, unlike all the social media companies that actually exist in the real world.
Exactly.
Oh, that was an interesting one. Scyther actually didn't quite put that anomaly in the correct space, but still managed to make the read that the core's going around it. So nicely played on the angle there for Winterfall to get it around it, but then also the defense.
And a caster still arc. I'm gonna fight you.
What?
I don't know. Scyther, no swiping is all I gotta say whenever they use that vanish against the other team so that they can't go for any of the strikes against the core. But LeoLeon,
nice angle.
That was a nice angle, but they got punished for it by the Juliet. That's the first Juliet we've seen in a while. It's mainly been Centauros today for those forwards.
It's ironic you should say that because I feel like I've seen a Juliet in every game, and so far I haven't seen a single Centauro in my time on the cast. But I guess this is just the way things, you know, I'll take your word for it, obviously. There was the first Vinny that I've seen at all on the last match, and that one actually just goes straight to the top. It looked like they were going to spend a little bit more time playing that one patiently in front of the net, but double BO3 just sends it to the top side, and they've got a tie game.
Esports versus E-Sports is how I'm going to call this one. Because LeoLeon is doing everything they can, large and in charge, especially when they have that extra special. That was kind of a weird bull rush that forced them towards the other end, but maybe a mechanical play, maybe some disconnects going on with the desync. But we do have the power chords using their best ability for Luke, but not enough to get it past LeoLeon, who again, getting all the goals for their team.
This is bad news if you are on the side of Winterfall, or as it is in this context, LeoLeon500 Esports, which is a crime in itself, by the way. So already, you know, you just this entire name is just one big post. I hate it, but. Either way, you know, I feel like they are having a bit of a difficult time dealing with this X. LeoLeon himself. We talk about X, Vod, as he's a quality brawler if you can get him up to speed. Otherwise, he gets outscaled by Julia and Zentaro normally. But X, this time around, he's looking rather lethal, and if he continues on this path, then it's going to be bad news for the opposition.
Night Market seems to be like one of the few places that people play X just because it's so hard to escape them. And, well, finally have someone other than LeoLeon getting the goal in it is LeoHeaven. And the series we saw before of this LeoLeon500 Esports, which used to be Hamster, but now is having their own player run their esports organization, which we've seen how well those do typically. But hey, Primetime is available. We'll see who takes it.
Chrono Boost is also available for if X wants it. Specialized training is on the field though as well, and that takes it away from Vice as well. Also critically, yes, I saw that. Chrono Boost, rather a core build item for Era. Obviously with the speed buff recently, that's going to be all the more important. So watch out for X now to be very strong and very quick and has extra special. So I feel like LeoLeon is going to start becoming a little bit more prominent on the field. We'll just have to see how things pan out here. And there he goes, off to the races. Bull runs Bellringer immediately. X Maximus, and already double best of 3 is having the time of their life with the Maelstrom. God damn!
The speed increase from the Flutterfly, I think is what it's called. I almost said Fluttershy, but this isn't My Little Pony. This is My LeoLeon Esports organization on the field.
We're not doing that. Anyway.
Oh, man. It's a good time here at Primetime Tuesday number 8. That's all I got to say. We're having fun with it. Hopefully you're all having a good time tonight, too. And again, this is the 2 versus the 3 seed for 1 spot in the playoffs. Only the top 7 take it this time based on the number of teams. But we might be trying out a different format next week to see how that goes. And, well, there goes the Rasmus off the edge of the arena in Night Market.
And realistically, no surprises there. Again, LeoLeon is becoming an absolute menace on the field. LeoHeaven certainly playing that era to good effect. The Maelstrom, not quite as impressive as we saw from the era earlier on, obviously, with the lack of Monumentalist, but with the Chrono Boost already in tow, it's been a massive boon for their team. They've had a lot of zone control, and oh my goodness, Luke is having a difficult time. Pops the Supernova trying to get the opposition away. Does have to pop Core Flip, and they're being pushed way out of position right now by this X Maximus. It looks like Bull Rush might be on cooldown, but they're on the hunt alongside that Flutterfly. I can't quite make it happen, though. You saw the dunk they were looking for. Finally, Luke goes off the back, and LeoLeon is still in the face alongside the Maelstrom. And LeoHeaven picks up goal number 1.
This is why Era is so good, especially with X on the roster.
Yeah.
Give them all the buffs necessary to make them go beat up your opponents and take their lunch money, and that's what's been happening on Night Market. You need a lot of experience, a lot of KOs, everything necessary to get you the victory and get those goal barriers down. And man, the speed even that is coming out from double BO3, not enough for them to do much against this X.
Absolutely. You're talking about stealing lunch money, stealing teeth. I mean, X should really consider a business in dentistry because he's doing a lot of removals right about now. There's a KO again. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Daftgrass, I mean, Luke, all 3 of them are having a difficult time, and here's just another example. This time it's LeoHeaven on the Era dunk, and LeoLeon might not be getting as many goals this set, but oh my goodness, like I said, with that specialized training, the X Maximus, just straight up punching people in the face. That's all you gotta do. WM1 mode here for LeoLeon.
There we go. Special coming out from Luke, and there goes a KO from the Juliet. Daftgrass. Perfect pendulum for them to get that goal barrier down. I'm liking the pressure out of the side of LeoLeon500 Esports, the blue team. I'm just going to go blue versus red. They'll make it easier.
Blue versus red. I mean, the stream can see it. Oh, that was close. That still makes it work, though. Well.
Wild. 12 goal barriers down so quickly, and all the momentum's gone, and there goes the goal and the set. Ripped away from them by who else? The LeoLeon500.
This seems like it's going to be an open and shut story. Does LeoLeon get the MVP? No. So there is potential for counter pick, but LeoLeon will have third pick. Quick Strike is on offer. Oh dear. Timeless Creator, Twin Drive as well. I almost wonder if Era, if you pick Twin Drive here just to give X a little bit more in the way of a buff. But we'll be built different, X. Keep it away from the Juliet. Okay, I like the deny. Now Juliet has the chance. We'll go quick strike, presumably, to keep that away from X. And I think that's
form.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's not necessarily a bad draft, but like I said,
Orb Dancer.
yeah, no. I think that there's definitely an alternative strategy that was kind of employed here. I mean, keeping that build diff away from the Juliet, though, was pretty big, because we saw the one time that LeoLeon was taken off the map, there was a lot of pressure immediately applied on the other end.
I'm just surprised the Timeless Creator didn't come out from the room, but they haven't really had to use their pillars as much as they typically do, so the Anomalies really just more of a defensive play instead of trying to go for KOs off the side, and you don't really need them to stay super long. It actually is a detriment to them on night market sometimes if they are there for too long, because they can used against them, so maybe that's what they're trying to avoid. Either way, both gold barriers down on either side. Eventually, one of these teams has to strike true, and usually it's LeoLeon500 Esports on the red end.
Which is true, but LeoLeon himself is actually suffering quite a bit here. Got into a bit of a man fight there with Luke on the back end, while their teammates were struggling to defend on their own side. Ooh, almost at that angle. I believe they were trying to snipe that one into the net. Couldn't quite find it, though. Death Touch is not enough to pull LeoLeon off the edge of the map. Daftgrass is still going for it, and they'll find it. Almost the KO combo there on double BO through the banished Anomaly, but it will be a goal onto the bottom side. They get that striker advantage, and they have got a significant advantage, not just in the department of characters being up, 2v3 Vodible. I think that's a very important point right about now. For former Winterfall, they have got to go in on LeoLeon, it feels like.
That's definitely where you want Timeless Creator to be, because if the Anomaly lasted even a couple seconds longer, it could have prevented that goal from going in, but the core is too fast, but so was the striker behind it on the blue end of this arena. Nice Anomaly too, and what a big LeoLeon on the Era. Just large and in charge, boosting themselves up as much as they can, but a mini Maelstrom sends it forward to tie things up.
I really feel like this match right now is all about momentum in the context of a single volley. Like I said, LeoLeon right now is kind of like raid boss status. It gets that speed boost from Elo Heaven, gets maybe the size bump from Elo Heaven, and suddenly he's just an absolute monster on the field. You can see they're going in on this one. Daftgrass will pull shield barrier though, and this is what it's all about. You have to be winning these fights against LeoLeon, and I feel like, honestly, objective play is almost secondary at this point, because if you can get that striker advantage, then Era and Rune are very hard-pressed to defend on their own. I mean, you have a whole lot of dunk potential moving up, and there they will pick up the KO. Lots of focus there on LeoLeon. Flip comes out, denied by the Maelstrom, down to the bottom side for double BO3. The Vanish comes out from Scyther. Good play with the unstable Anomalies coming out as well. They need to push this core flip onto the top side. No! Double BO3 takes it themselves. Daftgrass was in the wing, but they got the Juliet dunk, and there is the capitalization I'm talking about.
That is a capital G-O-A-L to score that one forward. That's the capitalization I'm talking about, but so is the banish that is happening, and Daftgrass is not having a good time. Neither is double BO3. They are having a good time after that. They got that gold barrier. Luke trying to see if they can power themselves to victory. Maybe should have used an energy burst to get away from Elo Heaven, because their gold barrier is down, and that was way too late and way in the wrong direction. Daftgrass was wide open.
They are on their back foot right about now, and again, LeoLeon, it's got a lot of stagger. It's not really being pressured. Double BO3 and Daftgrass are going to see if they can take this 2v2, though, against the opposing Era and the Rune simultaneously. Thunderstruck comes through to stop the momentum, but it's off to the top side, and they could not close the gap. LeoLeon, too big of a presence on the offensive side, denying the top end. And when the core got a little bit out of shape there, Daftgrass has no way to pull that one back. You got to get in front of the core. You're not going to win a strike core that easily against LeoLeon additionally. So things really getting complicated for them there. And like I said before, it's raid boss LeoLeon. That's a lot of stagger being taken away from both double BO3 and Daftgrass. Core flip is popped on the bottom side there for double BO3. Thunderstruck to deny some area. The unstable Anomaly's not quite there for the defense on the backside for Scyther, but things getting complicated now. The Maelstrom comes through, and this is anybody's game right about now. LeoLeon very low on stagger to the bottom side. Bellringer comes out. Two players staggered on the field right about now. Luke somehow with the reaction to get that one away to the bottom end, and it's 3 sets for LeoLeon500 Esports, and I can't think of a better way to put it away Then the X absolutely stuffing everybody up field, getting so aggressive, and LeoLeon500 actually takes the MVP for the game here.
It makes a lot of sense with the way that LeoLeon500 was able to perform and support their team, and with that era being one of the best support characters that are out there. They were instrumental to LeoLeon being able to do what he did, to get all those KOs and be a menace, but LeoLeon500 also got a lot of those goals too. So the real LeoLeon500 Esports got the victory and moves on to that playoff bracket. And looking at this, we saw 6 of those KOs for LeoLeon, a couple of them from Scyther too, but LeoLeon500 with a lot of damage, some good saves, and almost all the goal participation you could ask for.
I feel like this is a telling, stat sheet again. It feels like we saw this in the first game, right? But double BO3 on Juliet, 4 KOs, 14k damage, opposed to the opposing brawler, 6 KOs, 34,000 damage, and of course with LeoLeon500, assisting with 24k damage. Not to mention the countless times that LeoLeon received that speed buff and the size buff from the Flutterfly and Bewitching Beam respectively. It's really no doubt that that era had a significant impact on the game, and LeoLeon was able to, like I said, snowball with the X. Had extra special as the opening awakening.
Yep.
And then got specialized training on the first draft, and it felt like LeoLeon500 got Chrono Boost, I believe, on the first draft as well. And at that point, it was like, oh dear, that is one meaty boy, and LeoLeon certainly was a meaty boy during the remainder of that game. There was really not a whole lot that they could do. Like I said, it was Raid Boss X during that match, and that, let me remind everybody, is why you don't want to let X snowball, because we talk about powerful Zentaros,
he's going to give it to you.
Powerful Juliets, but X is the one who has the sustain control in combat with the X Maximus, especially with extra special. He's going to be all up on you. You can't just evade once. No, you have to evade and then kite him around and burn your abilities just to stay alive, and that's excluding, trying to still do your job as either a forward or a goalie. So that's
X plus extra special and excludes the competition from being able to play the game how they want. And that's why we saw the domination from LeoLeon500 Esports to be the true LeoLeon500 Esports. Spelled correctly. That's why they got the victory more than anything else. No E-Sports in this playoff bracket. But either way, still a great series between those two teams. Even if it was a 3-0 sweep, it was a draft awakening and a built different diff between those two teams. So, unfortunately, LeoLeon500 E-Sports will not be making it to the playoffs, but a valiant effort nonetheless. They changed their name, but they didn't change the game enough for them to get that victory.
Yeah, I feel like honestly both the times that we've seen them on stream, that was kind of a little bit of a draft L.
Yeah.
But they got, like I said, you mentioned Vodible, unlucky in the Awakenings, I would argue, right? Very first go-around after getting extra special on the very first carousel, right, the opening Awakenings, X gets specialized training on first draft, and Era gets Chrono Boost immediately as well, and you're kind of like, oh, Era who just got buffed with the speed boost, and now X is going to get that speed boost as well for a longer period of time. It has X Max Limit. Okay. And yeah. And that was probably one of those instances where you're just kind of like staring at the draft screen, being like the 4th in the selection after Era, you're just kind of like,
why?
It's like, oh,
instead
God,
of X, you say Y. That's all it was.
I need you to stop. I really
what I need you to do, Squidd, is shout yourself out, because that is the end of your show here today before we get into the playoffs. So where can people find you? And hopefully you're having a good night.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, which is apparently no longer Twitter for some reason.
It's technically called Twitter, but
it's called Twitter, but it's got
by X. I don't know what
ridiculous. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother. But you can find me on Twitter at Squidd TV down there below. So if you enjoyed the commentary, I would appreciate it. Also just the kind comments in chat. I do love you guys, and shouts. I don't think anybody will actually see this, but shouts to the people on YouTube. I see some people leaving some comments about the quality commentary there, so I appreciate that too. Thanks a lot. You could go check them out.
I apologize, YouTube, for my not quality commentary on this one.
Yeah, it was a bit of an off meta, if you will, commentating strategy approach from us, but we're just having fun. But yeah, you can find me at Squidd TV, and it's always great to be on Primetime Tuesday, so thanks, Vodible, for having me.
Well, thank you for joining me for the final rounds of Swiss. We're going to calculate how the rest of these matches are finishing up. But you can also check out the Striker Central B stream. That is the last match that they'll have on the B stream, so they'll be sending a raid on over here afterwards. So this will be the place to be for all the playoffs action to come. 3 rounds as far as we're aware, unless there's some weird tiebreaker stuff we need to figure out. And we'll be back in probably a couple minutes because we got to wait for these few matches to finish up. That was a 3-0, so we got to wait for some of those longer matches that go all the way to 5. So don't go anywhere. Enjoy some ads, get some food, and we'll be back in just a bit.